All right, happy Friday. Today we're going to start talking about inequalities. So the problems are very similar to what we've been doing, except one thing you will notice they are inequalities. They have greater than or equal to symbols, greater than, less than, or not equal to symbols. So if we look at the first three questions, they all go with, the first two go to with the problem at the top. So x squared plus 4x is greater than or equal to 5. So number one says find two positive x values, so anything that's greater than 0 that will satisfy the inequality. So any two numbers that if we plug in it'll be greater than or equal to 5 will work. So let's try 1 for instance. If we plug 1 in, we have 1 squared plus 4 times 1, and we want to make sure that it's equal to greater than or equal to 5. So 1 squared is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And 1 plus 4 is 5. So is 5 greater than or equal to 5? Yeah, so that works. So 1 is one answer that would work. I can put that in my solution set. And then let's try a bigger one. Let's try 10. So 10 squared plus 4 times 10. And we want to make sure that's greater than or equal to 5. So 10 squared is 100 plus 4 times 10 is 40. We want to make sure that's greater than or equal to 5. Yeah, 140 is obviously greater than 5. So that works for that one. So 10 and 1 are the two answers that I found for this one. Then, if I look at number 2, it says find two negative x values that will satisfy the equation. All right, let's just try these two numbers and make them negative. So if we try negative 1, all right, if we square negative 1, and then have 4 times negative 1, will that be greater than or equal to 5? All right, so 1 squared is 1, plus 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and is that greater than or equal to 5? So is 1 plus negative 4? No, that's negative 3, that's less than it, so that will not work. I'm going to cross that out. That one will work. All right, let's try negative 10. Negative 10 squared plus 4 times negative 10, we want that to be greater than or equal to 5. So negative 10 squared, negative 10 times negative 10 is 100, again positive 100, and 4 times negative 10 is negative 40, and is that greater than or equal to 5? So 100 plus negative 40 would be 60. 60 is greater than 5, so that works. So I'm going to put negative 10 as one of my answers, and let's try negative 5. So negative 5 squared plus 4 times negative 5. We want to make sure that's greater than or equal to 5. So negative 5 squared is 25 plus 5 times 4 is 20. Negative 20, I'm sorry. And is that greater than or equal to 5? Yeah, 25 minus 20 is 5. 5 is obviously equal to 5. So negative 5 also worked. All right, now it says, we move on to number 3. Should your 4 values also be solution to this inequality? Explain why or why not. So if we look at the two equations, up here we have x squared plus 4x is greater than or equal to 5, and down here we have the quantity, or x times the quantity, x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. So would the same answers work? Well, let's distribute first and see what we're dealing with here. So x times x is x squared, plus x times 4 is 4x, and then it's greater than or equal to 5. Oh, now if we look at it, once we distribute, they are the same exact inequality. X squared plus 4x is greater than or equal to 5. So should the same 4 values work? Yes. And it says why. So make sure you explain why those 4 values will work. What do you notice after you distribute? That's what you need to write there in your sentence. All right, now that you've finished part 1, we're going to go down to part 2. And if you'll notice, the things are a little bit different today because we're dealing with inequalities. So that means the greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, or just not equal to at all, like or B there. So if we look at A just to start, we solve these the same exact way sorry, I'm just trying to focus in. All right, we solve these the same exact way that we would the equations. The only difference is we'll have an inequality in our answer instead of an equal sign. So the first one, same thing we normally do. We will draw our line. Anything we do to the left side, we have to do to the right, and we are trying to solve to get the variable alone. So to get rid of the plus 4, we have to subtract 4 on both sides. That will leave us with x is less than or equal to 3. So again, this is our answer. If we write this in set notation, this is different than what we did before. Now, we're just putting the entire answer into our set. So instead of just writing 3, because it's an inequality, you have to write the entire thing. All right, if we look at letter B, it's very similar, but instead of an equal sign, we now have an inequality. It will not equal 9. So m divided by 3 plus 8 will not equal 9. So same thing like we would do with the rest of those. So our first step is to try and get rid of this 8. So to undo or do the opposite of adding 8, we will subtract 8 from both sides. 8 minus 8 is 0, so that just leaves us with m divided by 3. And then again, this does not equal 9 minus 8 is 1. So to get rid of this divided by 3 will be our next step. We have m divided by 3, or m over 3 does not equal 1. So to get rid of it, we have to multiply by 3. 3 times 3 divided by 3 is 0, so we're just left with m on this side. And 1 times 3 on this side should give us 3. So m will not equal 3. So again, just like you were solving them before, these are multi-step equations, but they are not equalities, they are inequalities. So the last step again would be to put it in set form. M will not equal 3. So go ahead and do C through E